Hi guys, so I promised a few days ago that I would make a question and answer video because a lot of you were sending me sort of similar questions, and so I figured it would be easier to answer them all in a video, and then I could kind of post the link to the video every time someone asked me a question that was the same, so that it would save a lot of time and energy on both of our parts. So let's get started, shall we? Question 1 was, do you think I can get a job on the weekends and study biology? Well, this is kind of a tough question. It really depends on the individual. I would definitely recommend maybe at least for first semester not having a job and just kind of getting used to the groove of things, like how things work. And then if you feel like you could take on an extra 10, 15 hours of work a week, maybe do so in second semester. But personally, I would recommend taking first semester off and just kind of seeing how things work in university. I would recommend 15 hours is the average max. University takes up a lot of time, so I would just recommend maybe 20 hours max a week. I would say more around 10, 15 would be my preference, but it depends on the individual. Again, some people might be able to work a full-time job and still be able to do well in school, so it really depends on who you are, if you can organize your time well, if you can prioritize well, etc. Question number 2. Can I meet you if I ever come to uOttawa? Yeah, I would say so. I am hopefully going to be either a frosh guide or a tutor somewhere. I'm going to be volunteering a lot, or I'm going to be trying to anyway. So there's definitely going to be a lot of opportunities for me to meet you guys. And I'll still be running this blog if you guys have any more questions all throughout my undergrad. So question number 3. What is there to do on weekends in residence? Well, it depends on the season. In the first couple months of res, every weekend was crazy. You could hop on the elevator and go to any floor, and there would be a party going on somewhere. Usually around midterm time and exam time, it's not as crazy, but usually there's parties going on. There's also floor events that your floor rep will hold. Every floor in residence has a representative that organizes and plans events for the floor. They buy food and they organize huge parties for everyone to kind of get to know each other on the floor. So that's about it for weekends in res. There's certainly activities going on if you're in any sort of club or team or intramural sport. But residence basically is just kind of either partying or studying. Well, question number 4 is a 3-parter. What is your favorite thing about Ottawa, your favorite thing about University of Ottawa, and your favorite thing about university in general? My favorite thing about Ottawa is the fact that it's kind of a mix between a big city feel and a small town feel. So excited when I came to Ottawa and there was like a city downtown with 15 clubs and like skyscrapers and the Parliament building, and it was just so cool for me to see that. But it was also cool to be able to, walk through the park or skate on the canal and just kind of, do those small town things. So it wasn't as scary as maybe like moving to Toronto or something. My favorite thing about the University of Ottawa is probably the bilingualism. I know it pisses a lot of people off to get their emails in French and English. They're just like, how do I turn off the French? But me, as an immersion student, I'm really trying to keep my French, and I'm trying to work on it and improve it, actually. So I think the University of Ottawa gives students like me a really good opportunity to kind of keep their French up. My favorite thing about university in general is probably just the atmosphere. I don't really know if that's a good answer, but there's a lot less drama than high school. There's still drama, but just there's less, and there's no cliquiness at university. Everyone just kind of is in the same boat. We're all thrown into university, and none of us are really sure exactly what we want to do. And I really like the sort of welcoming, encompassing atmosphere on campus. Question number 5. In honor of David Letterman's impending retirement, what is your top 10 list of things to see and do off campus in Ottawa? 1. See the Parliament building. 2. Go skating on the Rideau Canal. 3. Get beaver tails. 4. You have to go clubbing in Hall at least once. It's like an initiation into first year. 5. I would say go see the Canadian War Museum. There's so much to learn. And I guess along with this, 6 is the Art Museum. 7 would be go to Winterlude. In the winter, there is a month-long festival, I believe, in Ottawa. And there's different concerts and events and ice sculpting festivals and all sorts of things going on, and it's really cool. 8, I would say definitely go to at least one of the uOttawa versus Carleton basketball games. They're always intense. Capital Hoops, for example, is always full of spirit. And along with that, 9, I guess, would be go to the home opener, the football game at the beginning of the year. And 10, I would say go to a Sens game. You can't be in Ottawa and not have gone to a Sens game. Next question. Does uOttawa offer bursaries aside from French studies based on financial need? Yes, of course. They offer so many bursaries, I think. And you just have to complete, I think if you go on uOZone, you have to complete the My Financial questionnaire, and they will offer you not only some bursaries based on financial need, but also there's a work-study program where the University of Ottawa offers students that, have financial need some jobs on campus. And this is perfect not only because you make money, but also because the university is very flexible around your work schedule. So I would say if you wanted to work during university, I would recommend maybe applying to the work-study program first before you found any other job, because it gives you about 10-15 hours a week, very flexible, and you're right on campus. Talk about the friends you made and how you made them. The friends that I made a lot of friends this year, a lot of them through Frosh. I made some other ones through my classes. A lot of my other friends I met in res. They were right next door to me or on a couple floors up or whatever. But yeah, if I had to categorize where I met my friends, it would be volunteering, in res, in class, in Frosh. That's where I met basically all of my friends this year. What kind of advice do you have for balancing school life and social life? Well, this is a tough one, and I don't really know if my advice will help everybody, because what works for me might not work for you. Basically, I made a schedule every week and kind of wrote down what needed to be done and what was due when, because the great thing about syllabi, is they have the due dates for everything printed on them. So I would recommend right when you get your syllabus to grab your calendar, mark your due dates, and then every week kind of see what is due, schedule those things, and then, chunk them every day so that you get them all done. And what I did was I had class, and then I worked from about, whenever I was done class, 2:30 or so, to 5 or 6. That gave me the rest of the evening to watch Netflix, go visit some friends, maybe go out for a drink, And so I think it was really important to kind of know at what point you set the books down and kind of just relax and go talk to your friends, because it's important to have a balance. And I'm glad that you're realizing that so early, so that's exciting. How do you make friends at the beginning of the year when everything seems kind of awkward? It's not so awkward because everybody's in the same boat as you. Everybody is looking to make lasting friendships when they come to university, so you don't have to feel awkward at all for trying to make a conversation. In fact, most people will welcome it if you come and say, "Hey, what's up? What program are you in?" People want to talk and get to know each other. I would say that was one of my favorite things about first year, is that it was so easy to kind of step up and get to know people. Is French immersion hard? How is it being lectured in French? Being lectured in French was no different for me than in my high school grade 12 year taking philosophy in French or taking geography in French. It might be a little bit harder for someone who started taking core French in grade 9 or something, but I still think it's totally doable for people who are in core French. Also, you have the opportunity to pass-fail your classes, so you can hide your grade if you feel it's not as high as you want it to be. Do you have exams or assignments in the French Immersion Helper classes? Yes, we did have exams and assignments in the Helper class, but the difference is the assignments were all kind of based on the readings of the original class. So, for example, I took Philosophy 1501. So that's Introduction to Philosophy, and then I took the Helper class for that class. So all of the assignments that were for the Helper class would be do the readings for the first class and then summarize them. Could you please list 3 to 5 things you know to be so true today that you wish you knew 12 months ago? concerning res life. Get involved early. Bring a doorstop and keep your door open all the time, at least during the first month. Organize your time so that you can have a balance between social and academic life. Try and eat healthy, stay active, try and go to the gym. If you don't want to go to the gym, take up some dance classes, yoga classes, Pilates classes, Zumba classes. With health and being physically active comes higher energy, which will be very important in university. What will you remember most about year 1 at uOttawa? Best memory and worst one. Okay, well, I would say my best memory is just like my general first year, just meeting all these great people, but that's kind of lame. So I'm gonna say my best like single memory is probably initiating the parties of 90U, because I was one of the first ones to move in on August 29th, and I believe there was only maybe 40, 50, 60 people in the building at that time. And so I met the other people on my floor. There was 3 people, I believe, that were on my floor at that time. And so I was just like, hey, you know what? I'm going to throw a party. Like, let's have 4 people in my room. Let's order pizza. Let's just get to know each other. So I order pizza, and then I go into the elevator, and I see, you know, another guy. And I'm like, hey, do you want some pizza? Like, feel free to come to my room. I'm having a few people over. The guy's like, yeah, sure. I'll just go grab some friends. He shows up with 40 people, and so my res room is just full of people. We grab tables from either of the rooms beside me, and we make one huge, giant flip cup tournament, and it was a good time. And for the rest of the week, even the months following that, people would be like, you were the girl that threw the first party of 90U, and I was like, yeah, I was. Like, that was me. My worst memory is probably just, you know, losing friends and feeling like you were more connected than you were. Like, in class, I would feel like we were actually friends, and then class would end and they wouldn't talk to me anymore. You know, it's a normal part of university life that's going to happen in everyday life. People will, you know, come and use you, and then, you know, once they're done, they leave. But it was just hard for me because I was really desperate to try and make some lasting friendships, and so it was really hard for me to keep getting attached to people and then seeing them leave. So that was the last question. So I hope I answered your guys' questions. I'm sorry if this video kind of got off topic a little bit. Again, thank you for watching. I hope I helped. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask them. I'll put my link to my blog below. If you have Tumblr, follow me. And yeah, bye!